In the last several episodes of Joan Deserves a Musical, I've kind of taken a break from telling the narrative of how this musical came to be, and I've spent a lot of time talking about some of the questions I'm having to ask myself and the ways I'm trying to answer them. Now I want to get back to the story thus far. I've been telling this story a lot lately to friends and coworkers, and my coworker Nick, when I was telling him recently, laughed and shook his head and said, "It's unbelievable how many doors are just opening for you in this project." And that is today's theme. So just to quickly recap the story as I told it over the course of several episodes, I had this idea that I wanted to make a musical, an animated musical about the life of Joan of Arc. I reached out to a songwriter named Amanda Vernon, and she liked the idea and encouraged me to go find an animation studio. So I went and found an animation studio, and they liked the idea and said, write a script, put it together. So I did that, and I shared it with them, and they said it wasn't quite ready. It wasn't fully baked. I needed to work on it some more and then come back to them later. So then I went back to Amanda, and I recorded her a short podcast episode, kind of a summary of the script with my thoughts about where the song should go and what they should sound like. And she listened to that and really liked it and was on board with the project. And this is where the story picks up. I haven't told you anything beyond that. Her first suggestion was, what if we make an audio-only version of this? We could have like a Kickstarter to raise the money to fully produce the songs and to hire professional voice actors. And we could do like a short run mini-series podcast with the songs and the script and put that out in the world. And on the one hand, I really like that idea because it meant having some version of this thing in real existence sooner. On the other hand, I was a little nervous. If the animation studio wants to buy the rights to this thing, does that make it less exclusive if it already exists in a different format? So I reached out to the executive producer of the animation studio I've been working with and asked him about it. And he responded and said, actually, that sounds like a great idea. 2024 is looking like a pretty rough year, a tight year for the industry. Not a lot of acquisitions going to be happening. But if you can prove like people are willing to pay money for this thing and people want to download and listen to it, that could really be a point in your favor. So I started running at this idea. I drafted up what I thought would go on a Kickstarter page. I recorded a high-res fancy video pitching my idea, and it was looking like we were going to do that. But I was pretty nervous because for a couple of reasons. First of all, I was talking to all my friends and coworkers and anyone I could think of to let them know, hey, I might be launching a Kickstarter soon, would love your support. But it was looking like it was going to be tens of thousands of dollars. And if I couldn't raise that, if the Kickstarter failed, that would be game over, right? Or if the Kickstarter succeeded, there are all sorts of problems we could run into in the production side of things, right? Like we were looking at hiring voice actors and singers and things, but then all the editing was going to be done by me, which is not a great recipe for success. And then once it was out in the world, like what if nobody found it? What if nobody downloaded it? Would that then sour the animation studio from wanting to acquire it? Nevertheless, this was the only plan, the best plan we had, so we were running towards it, and I was pushing really hard to get that Kickstarter launched as soon as possible. Then something very strange happened. Amanda reached out to me and said, I've been thinking it over, and I think I want to just do this project for fun. Which, let's unpack that a little bit. If you remember, when I first reached out to the animation studio, I was just trying to get a 5-minute proof of concept that I could then use for crowdfunding to fund the full project. And when I talked to the animation studio, they said, 5 minutes of animation is probably going to cost you $250,000, which I don't have. But we might be interested in optioning the screenplay. And so I said, wait, whoa. My options here are I can pay you $250,000 and get just 5 minutes of animation, or you can pay me money and make the whole thing. And they were like, yeah. I got flashbacks to that as Amanda reaches out to me and says, I want to do this thing for fun. I asked her what that meant. And she said, I think instead of raising money and you paying lots of, paying me to do this, I want to just do it. I want to just get started. Which is crazy and amazing and so exciting. So where I am now is she has started work on writing the first song, and I hope to hear it soon. Since she's doing it just for fun, It's a little unclear how long it'll take. She's just doing it as she has time here and there. It might take a while. And it's not going to be fully produced, right? Not like going into a studio and mixers and synthesizers and orchestra and stuff. Just going to be basically a demo, her and her piano. But I'm going to get to hear one of the songs for this musical, which is just a moment I've been waiting for and working toward for like a year and a half now. It's very exciting. So that is a big update, big step forward. And when I hear that song, I'm sure I'll be telling you all about it, and there will be many more adventures to come. But the point of this story is that, as Nick said, doors are opening. Doors are continuing to open for this project. I really feel that this project itself wants to be made. And for whatever reason, it chose me to be the guy to lead it. I'm not sure I've made the right choice there, but I am committed to seeing this through as far as I can. And so far, it's looking like that might be a pretty good distance. And maybe someday there will be a fully animated musical about Joan of Arc that I created.